So I want to welcome every one of you. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate you starting off your morning with us. It's Sunday, July 13th, 2025. My name is Charles, and this is Cheesy Media. This is your hub for breaking news, for breaking stories from Nigeria and from around the world as well. For anything is happening, as long as we have it, we are coming live with it. And this is not only the time that we come on the air every time. In fact, if it's breaking by 12 midnight, we're breaking it by 12 midnight. If it's up by 4 a.m. in the morning, we're up by 4 a.m. If it's up by 10 a.m., we're up by 10 a.m. So at any point in time that anything is breaking, we would be live with you for everything, information, entertainment, education, and everything in between. You can as well reach out to us just in case you have a breaking news around you that you want to share with us. You can also do that. The number is right above my head, start to the right. You might as well do the same thing across board by send us a message, send us a WhatsApp message. You can call in at some point, in fact, and you can as well send us a message on this platform on YouTube. We're live, like I said, every single morning by 7:30 for the review of the papers. So for those who have been asking about the whereabouts,
improved the revenue. He only collected tax. All the infrastructure
has seen him, return to Abuja. Just in case you haven't, so let me see if I can grab a visual of him. He is right now in Abuja. So everyone is happy and excited that he has returned. I don't know how excited or how happy that you are, but there's a lot of persons who have been asking lately about his whereabouts. But I think that right now everything is good and fine. So wherever you're watching us from, let us know what it is you're doing. Send us a message and tell us that you're watching from your location. Let us know where you are watching us from. You may as well give us a shout out, a thumbs up on whatever it is that you want to, so that we could basically do the needful. All right. Let's see if we can grab a visual of the president returning to Abuja just a couple of minutes ago. Hopefully, we're back afterwards. We're back shortly. Do stay with us. As presidents retired ministers that he
You're welcome. Hey, welcome back. Excellent.
So it's official. He has returned to Abuja. For those who have been asking about his whereabouts, I hope suffices. I mean, there's been this social media uproar since the last 24 hours about his whereabouts. Many persons speculating that he may have fallen ill after his meeting at St. Lucia and then over to the BRICS meeting. So some of the persons were screaming, where the hell is the president? But right now, we're good, and well, we understand that he came back earlier this morning. So let's give you give you our teaser before we kickstart our daily newspaper recap. Let's give you the teaser right now. It's all about Atiku. Um, letting go his ambition. There are a whole lot of persons who have said that he should drop his ambition. Almost the first time, and it shocked everybody that he was able to gather that. But be that as it may, let's count it the way that INEC did count.
The South, Buhari was incompetent. Nigerians suffer under him, yet they allowed him to rule. Tinubu is obviously incompetent. He said he came to coup, and we want to see change. Give it several times that they stole the election, that you were so sure Peter Obi was the winner. So if you knew he won, saying that he doesn't stand the chance, and you're talking about, you have seen him get votes from the north, is because they have to give somebody a chance from the southeast. What is our problem with the Igbo? Nigeria, one Nigeria. Now they change the national anthem and brought the old one to talk about we being together. But us northerners must team up behind Obi. We have northerners. Why did Wike destroy PDP?
So these are the teasers we have for you for this morning. So we're going straight to the papers. And papers have several headlines that I think would interest you. So we're kicking off on the Punch newspaper this morning. Let's see what it brings us this lovely Sunday, the 13th of July, 2025. So we're kicking off on the Punch this morning. Let's see what it brings. On the Punch, Lagos local government poll, opposition cries foul over APC's victory boasts. Well, I don't know if you followed those local government elections. So many persons say it was a far cry from what exactly it should be in terms of what election should look like. And federal government under fire as NNPC confirms refineries not working. Well, you know how it is when you had told the entire federation that the refineries are now working under the last administration of the NNPC management, Kiari, and only for you after a few months for you to see that it's no longer working. It's really something that a whole lot of persons are very angry about, and they are questioning the truthfulness of the state of the refineries in the first place. And that's why Ojulari, the new leader of the NNPC, is mulling the idea of selling the refineries to the private sector, or maybe do it a public-private partnership, so that we can actually have that sector, especially that our refineries come back to full stream. So more other headlines. 2027 APC ADC coalition scramble for Kano's mega vote. It's all about 2027. No date yet for NEC to decide Obi's fate, says Labour Party. Party stalwarts acknowledge ex-Kano governors in influence, confirm consultation. NNPP factions differ on alliance move. All right, some other headlines. Reps move to strip president of power, appoint INEC chair. Would that even be possible under any government, under any president? I doubt it. All right, let's see who we other headlines that the Punch is having for us this morning. How unruly drivers assault traffic officials to avoid penalties. All right, flood waters force Makoko children out of school amidst disease fears. Final details on the Punch papers. I shared water with camels, donkeys, traveling through desert, Libya returnee. Oh my goodness. And there's even a lady. I thought that the guys who were mostly the ones that are fearless, the ones that embark on these types of trips. But when you see a lady, telling their tale about this development, you're almost stunned about, the experience that they are sharing. PDP will never die, says Southwest chair. Find out the details on the Punch newspaper this morning. And now we're moving over to the Leadership newspaper. It's called the Leadership Weekend. Let's see what we have there. I didn't criticize Tinubu on Fubara's suspension, says Shetima. I mean, I'm sure that story he told at the Adoke's book launch would actually haunt him forever. I don't think he actually knew the type of story he was telling, that it would actually try to criticize his boss. Or maybe he knew what he was doing, but he just wants to hide under the cloak of I didn't tell that story is trying to criticize my boss. But however it is, Nobody has the right to stop anyone from thinking otherwise in case you actually had made a comment in that direction. But in any case, we fingers crossed we would see what happens after a while. Against all odds, 10-year-old survives 10 surgery after abandonment. Oh my goodness. Did you see that wonder? 10-year-old survives 10 surgery after abandonment. It's really an interesting read, I guess. Measles kills 24 children in Zamfara, says MSF. Sale of state-owned refineries not ruled out, says NMPC GMD. Federal government suspends 4.3 million naira daily to feed 3,823 inmates on death row. That's interesting, isn't it? Federal government spends 4.3 million naira daily to feed 3,823 inmates on death row. NCOS says 3,742 male, 81 female in condemned cells nationwide insist feeding allocation never international standards. They want more. State CSOs explain reasons for governor's refusal to sign erosion order. All right, we'll find out a little more details regarding this. How in the world is 4.3 million naira daily not enough for 3,823? And by the way, you would think that those who are in that platform, they don't. I'm not sure you have seen the kind of food that they eat in those areas. The food that they eat in those in that location, especially if you are condemned, it's so terrible, it's so mind-boggling that you would think that they are spending 4.3 million naira for 3,800 inmates. It's it's terrible. Somebody is doing some business within that fold, and it's fingers crossed. It's just a matter of fact. If somebody really wants to check it, I'm sure that they would find a thing or two regarding some corruption within that fold. I'm still on the leadership newspaper. Buhari vows to be neutral as ex-aides battle Tinubu. Three governors, ministers to grace Latif Jakonde lecture. Tears and ashes. Widow cries for help after fire destroys her only shelter. Lawyers, politicians rally behind women's reserved seat bill. All the details you can find on the leadership newspaper. We're moving over right now to the Tribune newspaper. If we've got that, then we can display that for you right now. The Tribune this morning, just above the mass, Tinubu gives reasons. Niger Delta is critical to Nigeria. Ambassador Awolowo Dosumu felicitates Lasisi Olagunju over NAL honorary fellowship. Still on the Tribune in the newspaper this morning, we have this particular one. It's a screaming headline. Constitution review. North pushes for power, devolution, resource, control, and equity. Wants elective positions reserved for women. Constitution review. North pushes for power, devolution, resource control, equity. Wants effective or elective positions reserved for women. Nigeria is still searching for answers to national questions. All right, find out the details of that right up on the Tribune newspaper. Military arrest terrorists, gun runners in Kaduna as police foil bandit attack, kill one in Benue. All right, some other headlines that we have for you on the Tribune newspaper this morning. Anglican Church gives clerics guidelines for hosting politicians during services. This is not far from what may have transpired with the likes of the FCT minister Nyesom Wike. Nyesom Wike had actually gone to an Anglican church to make comments disparaging other politicians and but practically making the church pulpit a place where you could use to throw tantrums at other politicians. He went to do Thanksgiving with other of his five friends, his G5. Remember the likes of Benue State Governor, the likes of that's former Benue State Governor now, the former Enugu Governor, and other persons who showed up at that event. He took them there, and instead of focusing on the Thanksgiving that he came to do in that church after the series of commissioning that had happened in Abuja, he went ballistic with disparaging other, politicians. He made comments on the coalition, made comments on Peter Obi, made comments on several other persons, and so many persons thought that the Anglican Church should not be providing its pulpit for politicians to, disparage other politicians. Instead, they should do it on their own. They should call a press conference if they really want to do such. And so I'm sure that's part of the reasons why the Anglican Church is giving clerics guidelines for hosting politicians during services. Ocean PDP pledges support for Adeleke, ready to align with his future decisions. Well, this has been a rumor over time right now. Adeleke is looking to defect to the APC, and it's only a matter of time. Some people even are saying it's a matter of hours. He's been consulting widely for a while now, and it's only a matter of time for him to make the switch. You never can tell what it would be. Making the switch might just be what would happen in a couple of days. Look, Lagos local government election records low turnout. Sanwo-Olu, Hamzat, others comment last year over smooth exercise. 2027 elections, how ADC proponents can achieve results. President speaks, opposition coalition healthy for democracy, says Bajabila. All the details you can find on the Tribune newspaper this morning. All right, let's now move over to the Vanguard newspaper if we have that now. Okay, it's displaying on your screen. Vanguard has its headline just above the masts. Thousands of youth, women, elders storm Kebbi Government House, declare total support for APC. Dismiss ADC movements as deceptive. Thousands of youths, women, elders storm Kebbi Government House, declare total support for APC, dismiss ADC movement as deceptive. When headline like this comes out, what comes to mind? The first is the government of that state is a little bit scared, and because of the numbers of people who may have defected from other political parties to the ADC, or maybe from other zones or other regions, you would think that the only way to make some noise and maybe to kill their own noise is to just do small just do small drama within your reach, so that it won't look like, well, you guys are giving up on the matter. Anglicans ban politicians from church podium. Labour Party alleges attempts to gag VP Shatima. Labour Party alleges attempts to gag VP Shatima. Constitution review. Northern states demand true federalism and state police. Northern states demand true federalism and state police. It's interesting that the northern states are requesting for state police. They have always been the ones not really into the state police idea, but it is beginning to be clear these days that you would just need a state police of some sort that are legitimate in order for you to tackle some of the myriad of problems and security issues that states are facing. 2027, Atiku, Peter Obi, Amechi, others stoke elite politics worries in ADC. Atiku, Peter Obi, Amechi, others stoke elite politics worries in ADC. From US, more trouble for US businesses, tech innovators, students. Ex-envoy to America raises the alarm on new visa regime. All right, all the details you can find on that platform. Lagos local government polls, our votes don't count. Okay, with the writer residents explain low turnout. Sanwo-Olu thanks Lagosians for peaceful conduct. Still on the elections, I'm talking about the Vanguard newspaper this Sunday. Girl, 12 killed in police kidnappers clash. FCT Senator Ireti Kingibe quits Labour Party for ADC. So it's a huge congratulations to Ireti Kingibe, who has found a very new a new home with the ADC. There has been this talk about whether she would remain in the Labour Party. Labour Party has been in the shadow of itself since its party leadership crisis, went to the Supreme Court. Up until this moment, they haven't been able to resolve the matter, and it's been lingering for some time now. One would wonder whether it is something that they can overcome. But it's fingers crossed. Hopefully, they are able to overcome it. We're moving now over to the Nation newspaper this morning. If we got um, that in the wings, then we could just take it up. See, the Nation newspaper has its own headlines that is screaming, and it's really looking good out there. So let's see. On the Nation newspaper this morning, Lagos local government poll, APC eyes clean sweep amidst lower turnout. Sanwo-Olu tells voters, thanks voters or hails voters for peaceful conduct. Why Niger Delta is critical to national growth by Tinubu. Directs commission to complete all abandoned project. Still on the Nation Sunday morning. Defection. I'm still consulting. Ocean PDP ready to follow me, says Adeleke. All right, Adeleke almost looks like he's done consulting, but he just have to make some moves in order to complete this move. By the way, so defection. I'm still consulting. Ocean PDP ready to follow me, says Adeleke. With the writer, governor meets party chiefs, cabinet, federal and state legislators. Others, formally takes over APC structure in Akwa Ibom. All right, finally takes PDP structures in Akwa Ibom. And there is this particular message I'm going to show to you. That's is concerning. It's about this particular ruling party taking over states. They say that, especially in Delta and other states, though, even in Akwa Ibom, I hear that's even a problem regarding that. The problem is the fact that when the ruling party gets the governor to move over, who has a party chairman in wherever he is, it tends to be really bad, because when you go to the new party, you would have to displace people who are there, because the chairman of the party, the new party, you are going to have to maybe be replaced, or will not be given the respect that he usually gets while he was, the party chairman of that party. So there are several other things that comes with this particular party thing that is really terrible, that people are not really, in tandem with. People are angry that, when the governor defects to this new party, he goes with his own people and tends to replace those people who have been party faithfuls in those areas, in those places, and it becomes a problem. Because of course the governor cannot work with people who he does not know, who he hasn't worked with for a long time, who have been in opposition and in fact may have even criticized him. So on what basis would you be keeping somebody, in that stead? So those gray areas are some of the issues that some of these political parties are facing in their quest, to retain power. So tell me what you think in that direction. Do you think that governors who have states structure should move everybody that they have? Say, for instance, you're moving from PDP to the APC. You're taking the structures of the PDP and even the chairman, the vice chairman, and even the ward chairman over to the APC. So what happens to those who you met there? What really happens? How do they go about it? So some of the issues. There's a message I will display for you later after we finish our visuals. Then we'll come off to that. Then opposition coalition, good developments for democracy, says Bajabia Miller. Constitution review, House panel promises inclusive process. Nigeria, Brazil sign landmark health sector pact at BRICS summit. Those are the details we can grab for you on the Nation newspaper this morning. All right. Now we're moving over to the visuals. A lot of visuals that we want to display for you. There's so many of them. So hopefully we're able to finish off on each and every one of them. All right. Let's see if we can start off with this particular one. Of course, the Lagos State elections, local government elections are done, and there are so many complaints about how it was conducted. Not many persons were happy about the way and manner it was conducted. So many persons thought that it would have been a lot better. But let's just play for you some of the experiences that some persons had. For the first time, and it shocked everybody that he was able to gather that. But be that it may, let's count it the way that INEC did count.
The South, Buhari was incompetent. Nigerians suffer under him, yet they allowed him to rule. But Tinubu is obviously incompetent. He said he came to ADC, and we want to see change. Give a federal time that they stole the election, that you were so sure Peter Obi was the winner. So if you knew he won, saying that he doesn't stand the chance, and you're talking, you have seen him get votes from the north, is because they have to give somebody a chance.
Okay, that was one out of so many persons who have complained bitterly about the way and manner he wanted to, he wanted to vote for his preferred party, and it wasn't showing. In fact, it was just only the APC and the PDP that were on the ballot. Every other thing that you were seeing, every other thing that you thought that on a very good day you're supposed to see everybody. You're supposed to see at least all the parties: the Labour Party, APC, PDP, ABGA, and the likes. It was just the ones that we saw was just APC and PDP. And one would wonder why is that? And because of that, a lot of persons read the room and they didn't even show out for the elections. There are people who were even playing soccer while local government elections were even going about. These are some of the reasons why I thought the president looked at our constitution and thought that money should be paid directly to the local government chairman so that there should be some activity. The local government tier of government should be one of the most competitive part of government. But the state government have made it so moribund, so desolated that they would not give them any form of autonomy because they feel that some of the monies going there, should come through the state. And the president at the time, last year, got the Supreme Court to make a law stating that these particular money should be paid directly. If the autonomy is there for the local government election, then you can see competition. Then you can see activity in that area, because that's actually the tier of government that is closest to the government of the day, to the people. So if we have a situation where the governors are refusing to even vote for autonomy of the local government, and even the president is not even doing anything in that direction to enforce it, then you just say that everybody is in bed with everybody. It's really crazy. Anyways, let's go to some other visuals that we have for you. That's social media visuals that we have for you. Just to remind you that Tinubu has returned to Abuja after his journey.
You're welcome. Hey, welcome back. Excellent. Thank you,
So it's official. The president has returned back to the country. I hope everybody now can rest, because it was, a major issue in the last 24 hours, with people asking where the president was after his meeting in St. Lucia and, of course, in the BRICS. So they were asking where he had gone to. Well, right now, it's official. He's back. He's hale and hearty. And then we're back to normal duties. All right. So back to party politics. Kenneth Okonkwo was in Enugu some few days back, and what was his duty? In making sure that he convinces people within the states, at least party stakeholders first, that the national is not jettisoning anybody. The national wants everybody to come in. They wouldn't mind getting more people from other parties to join, and that they should prepare for some interesting development that would happen in the next few days. So let's listen in.
To form a government. Anybody who is a party executive and you are not in government is sufferhead. You will be spending your own money. I know what I'm talking about. So it is foolishness for people to begin to bicker and destroy their party because of party executive seats. So the whole idea, I'm saying this thing now, is let us have Rabuosu at the back of our mind whenever we're talking about anything, sacrifice for this party. He gave up everything to accommodate others so that we will be so consolidated and have the power to win the main election and win the main government of Nigeria.
Okay. That was Kenneth Okonkwo, with ADC members, ADC members in Enugu, all of the 17 local government chairmen and party chairman having a meeting some few days back while he was in Enugu. And his only point of call is making sure that they galvanize people to join the party. There are more people should join the party, that Enugu should be ADC. He had actually met the governor just when he landed. And so many persons had speculated that he may have also spoken to the governor about joining the ADC. And, of course, the governor. The governor is not a politician. He practically does not key into this type of cheap politics. He likes to keep his actions to himself. He rarely speaks on, national politics. If he's not talking about moving Enugu State from $30 billion to $40 billion, he's telling you how the smart school is going to improve, students and Enugu. He's also telling you how he's opening the Enugu State and the region to regional tourism. He's also giving you an update on smart farms that he thinks that would stop the menace of farmer-herders clashes. He's also giving you an update on there's several things. He's also telling you how conferences, that Enugu State has become the conference capital of Nigeria. People who want to do their conferences and be safe, that are doing their conferences with a large expanse of space, they can always use the Enugu International Conference Center. I mean, there are several conferences that have been slated for this particular year. The ones are some that has happened and some that are yet to come, which are beginning to bring a lot of businesses to Enugu State. Something that never really happened in the last administration. So it's a huge thumbs up to him and what he's able to achieve and what his arrangement has been, or what his plans has also been. Many persons have said that he is the most he's the governor with the most achievement in 2 years or being in office, and the best performing governor, as Professor Keyamo said, through the president. And the president, of course, has been here previously and of course has said his own mind about the kind of governor that he is. So there's a whole lot of positivity around him at this point in time, and so he becomes a thing of grandeur for him. But the point is, so many persons have said that because of the problem at the national level of the PDP, he may not run on the platform of the PDP. But even if he does, there might not be any opposition given what he's achieved in just 2 years being the governor of Enugu State. Anyways, okay, let's go over to the next visuals that we have for you. It's a visual that is quite interesting. I needed to watch this and watch this carefully. It's from Isaac Fayoshi. He was speaking about the fact that two Nigeria's former presidents are in London sick, and are not hale and not hearty. and even blame them for not building hospitals while they were in power, at least a hospital that they can be taken to while they're in Nigeria. Watch this and let's know what you think about it.
Today, we have two head of states, two former presidents of Nigeria in London hospital. They are sick. No hospital to take them in Nigeria. As at today, now president now have to send vice president to go and check on them in the hospital in London. And you know the funny part of it, the doctors and the nurses treating them there are the japa from their country that they refuse to empower. So they are the doctors that are making waves. They are the nurses that are making waves in UK, helping them to get well. The doctors wey japa wey they no fit take care of in Nigeria, the nurses wey japa wey they no fit take care of, they are in London. Imagine two former head of state, two former presidents, they didn't build one single hospital that they can, in their old age, that they can go. Yoruba ni ma jẹ́ kí n kú síbi tí kò sáṣọ mi. That means they were unable to build a good hospital that they can go in their old age. So the two of them are now in London, Buhari and Abdusalam, receiving treatment. And part of the doctors and nurses treating them are the japa they refuse to empower in Nigeria. Do you see the history? So if two head of states are abroad and when they are sick, they are receiving treatment, what about 200 million that are not head of states that cannot go abroad to receive treatment? You see how selfish our leaders are? Now, our current president now still send our plane to go and visit them outside on their sick bed. Is that not a sick nation? What a country. There was a country.
Well, I mean, some great points made, really great point made. But he didn't have to take them to be sick for Fayose to be saying what he's saying. Under Buhari, you would say that he spent a lot of time in the hospital. In fact, if he did 8 years in office, you could say that he did 1 year in at least one or even more, trying to fix himself, trying to get himself well. Um, thank God for his life, really. I mean, at the time he was the president, if you look at what happened to him, he was really lanky when he took over office in 2015, but at some point he became fresher. And he even confessed that he was really, 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 really sick. At some point, he was away for more than 6 months, more than 6 months. And Garba Shehu, also recently in his book said that at some point he didn't want anybody to disturb him about Buhari's ill health. He had to lie that Buhari's office was infested by rats. It's so really painful, hearing this now, because I know that I was just wondering what kind of environment does the presidential villa have that rats would go as far as disturbing the presidential villa. Do you know what that means? I mean, it means that the cleaners, they are not doing their jobs. It means that the people there who are employed daily to be paid to get things done. And you know that when they're talking about cleaners, they're not talking about just any kind of cleaners. They're talking about internationally certified cleaners. So at what point did rats? Oh my goodness, I didn't think about it. I wasn't critical in thinking at that time, why he said it. But right now, I'm thinking about it right now. How come we fell for those lies that they told about rats infesting or rats invading the presidential villa and the president cannot return because of rats? Like, it's terrible, really. Well, I also wondered why he's telling us that now. Why are you telling us that now? Why? What kind of message are you trying to send? For me, that only sends message to those who are in power that to continue lying. Whatever happens, just continuously lie. As long as you lie your way around a particular incident, So, but again, Nigerian media, it's difficult to report certain truths that you see, because if you do that, you get into trouble. You'll be blacklisted. So those are some of the issues that people are basically facing, and the media here is also facing. Let's see if we can grab this particular one also. It's quite interesting and conflicting at the time, because Daniel Boala is one of the presidential aide. Before he took over office, or got the appointment from the presidency, he said a lot of things that is still, if you can say, is still very much valid. Still very much valid. At some point, in fact, there was this talk about whether Tinubu built Lagos, and he went ballistic on Tinubu, that Tinubu never did anything. And guess what? All of these things are captured on camera. And sometimes, though, these videos, when you play it back, I don't know what he feels or what he thinks when he sees his videos played back, and now he's working for the same person he criticized.
He only collected tax. All the infrastructure needed for a state, or in fact a country, to develop was on ground. Lagos used to be the Nigerian national capital. Before Nigeria was formed, Lagos was a colony. You have all the infrastructure for economic development. As what you didn't establish them. There was seaport, there was airport, you have commercial activity, all the embassies are there, so transaction with foreign envoys is in Lagos, all the hotels are there, headquartered in Lagos, all the banks are headquartered in Lagos, all security apparatus, every facility and infrastructure for economic development was in Lagos. He didn't bring them. Asiwaju did not invite or introduce or brought to Lagos any serious foreign investor or domestic investor. And these revenues we are talking about that they claim he has generated, we are on. It's just that the government didn't have the infrastructure in collecting those. So what he did throughout this period was to collect tax. That's what they claim by revenue. And even then, the reason he did that was because the company that was collecting the tax, the company is allegedly traceable to him.
So I'm just thinking to myself, really, how, like, what does he think? How does he think when he sees those videos? Because those videos are actually going to be used against him, including Reno Omokri. Because Reno Omokri at some point was a vicious attacker, was a vicious antagonist of President Tinubu. And now they are, the shower boys of this particular administration. And those videos are there. It's not like the videos look old, or they look that like they are not who they are. They are the same people. So imagine you during campaign, somebody brings out that video. You are in government of Tinubu, and then you are saying this against Tinubu. It's going to be quite conflicting. I don't know. See, but this is part of the reasons why the politics of ideology is very important for all Africans. I know that we have not gotten to that point where we say, we'll have 2 or 3 political parties, and then everybody sticks to that political party. I mean, we're seeing INEC having over 120, in fact, 120 political parties vying to be registered, and they haven't been able to do that. They haven't been able to approve anyone. So as it stands currently, we have more than 20 political parties, at least the ones that we know went to that election, the presidential election. But it is not the same now, because, like it or leave it, you can't in one minute be singing one praise, or singing or antagonizing somebody, and and just another minute singing a totally different thing from what you did. These are the reasons why ideology helps us catalyze. Ideology helps us to put things in perspectives. If you are here, you are here for good. If you are here, you are here for good. You are not here or here by morning or here by night. And this is actually what makes our democracy, laughable, in the eyes of people. I mean, who does this? If he is in government and somebody plays this video, maybe he just finished an interview, and as soon as he finishes that interview, praising Tinubu's government, that he did that, and the next second somebody plays back the video, he's the same person. How would it turn in the head and in the mind of anyone? It's crazy though. So I just thought to bring that out and see how conflicting that can really be. So speaking of teasers, I said I was going to tease you about something coming up on this channel, and it's quite an interesting tease. I thought you would like it. It's all about Atiku. Many persons are prevailing on him to quickly sheath his ambition to make sure that he backs Peter Obi for the next election. We know that it's not written anywhere, it's not signed anywhere that South Mbam was the first time, and it shocked everybody that he was able to gather that. But be that as it may, let's count it the way that INEC did count.
The South, Buhari was incompetent. Nigerians suffer under him, yet they allowed him to rule. Tinubu is obviously incompetent. He said he came to coup, and we want to see change. Give several times that they stole the election, that you were so sure Peter Obi was the winner. So if you knew he won, saying that he doesn't stand the chance, and you're talking about, you have seen him get votes from the north, is because they have to give somebody a chance from the southeast. What is our problem with the Igbo? Nigeria, one Nigeria. Now they change the national anthem and brought the old one to talk about we being together. But us northerners must team up behind Obi. We have northerners. Why did Wicked destroy PDP?
So those are the teasers for you. That's coming up on this channel. It will come up a little later today. But one more thing I actually going to say is that just in case you're wondering, Tinubu has returned. He's returned to Abuja. For those who have been asking about his whereabouts, yes, he has officially returned from his journey in both BRICS meeting and, of course, St. Lucia.
You're welcome. Welcome back. Excellent. Thank you.
We've also gone around some of the biggest headlines from the newspapers. Remember, we are up every single day from Monday to Sunday. We don't stop. It's 7:30 all the way to 8:30. It's everything that you want in between. We have added a new segment, which is a social media segment. We just basically capture some of the trending social issues online and bring it to the fore. And you have the chance also to participate on the program by sending us a message via the numbers are showing right up on my head to the right. Yes, I think I'm pointing at the right place. All right, so you could also send us a WhatsApp message, not just a WhatsApp message. You can call in, basically. That's the idea for it to be very interactive. We would also feature guests, via the phone or via visuals, and we want you to be very much part of this process. Today is the 13th, so we are on the 13th day of a social experiment of 90 days. Yes, we're going to be streaming live every single day, at least for 90 straight days between 7:30 and 8:30, depending on how long the program lasts. And by the way, this is a hub for breaking news of any source. If it is breaking anywhere in Africa, we're bringing you these visuals, and we could come up at any time of the day. Yes, that's how interesting this is. We could come up at any time. Yes, I mean anytime. If it's breaking by 12 midday, you're sure you're getting your news by 12:05. It's breaking by 1 a.m. You're sure you're getting it on this platform by 1:05 a.m. It is consistent, continuous, and it's just for you to have all of the latest as we go on with this. All right. You can call in to show your support, to send us some messages and tell us how you feel about the programs for each day and how we can also improve your listening and watching pleasure. Very soon, we're also going to be connecting to other platforms like Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, making sure we bring you all of the biggest stories as it concerns you. Also, just to remind you that we've gone round the papers this morning. We've done the Punch newspaper this morning. For those who missed out, we'll just do a little bit of the recap here and there. This is the biggest headline out of the Punch newspaper this morning. Here it is, 2027 APC ADC coalition scramble for Kano's mega votes. I wonder where that takes us because, again, I like it to live it. It's going to be quite interesting in 2027. Let's see what the nation told us earlier. The nation reminded us of the defection that happens around with APC welcoming more people and the ADC even welcoming more people. It's quite an interesting development. Defection, I'm still consulting. Oshun PDP ready to follow me. Adeleke is on the verge of leaving the PDP to the APC because that is where he thinks that he can consolidate and stay back and hopefully to stay back in power so that he doesn't, easily get displaced. Because of course, if a certain Delta state could do it, if a certain Akwa Ibom state could do it, why can't I do it to consolidate my power? So that's exactly what's been going on. Just in case you missed out, let's see what the Vanguard told us earlier with their biggest headlines. And it is even much more interesting, given that 2027 is not next year. It's a year plus away, but a whole lot of persons are, looking at it from the premise of the fact that the elections are looking like it's next year. 2027 out of the Vanguard this morning. Atiku, Peter Obi, Amechi, others stoke elite politics, worries ADC. Well, a whole lot of persons have said the ADC would have a lot of problems with the ambition, especially of Atiku, because Atiku looks like the only northerner that is interested in the presidential ticket from the north. And so if it's just one person, and of course with the dichotomy of the north and south, it does look like he is swimming against the tide. And one would wonder whether he would be able to not just win the primaries, but of course win that election, because the bigger picture is the main election. His ambition was what even scuttled the elections of PDP in 2023 because of its ambition. I mean, you can't have a Buhari, a Northwesterner, to do 8 years, and the Northeasterner follow suit. It couldn't have worked, and that is exactly what killed his stuff, for the year 2023. And here we are again, 2027. It looks like it's going to play out the same way that it did in 2023, only if he can sheath his sword and endeavor to give peace a chance, at least support a southerner. No matter where it goes, he is sure that by 2031, everyone will rally around him, to get him to power. Anyways, I want to appreciate every one of you for being part of the broadcast for today. Remember that I said it is live every day. If there's something absolutely breaking that is big, that is huge, it doesn't matter where it is, whether it's in Africa, whether it is in Nigeria, or whether it's around the world, we will bring you all of the details and bring you up to speed with all the developments as it relates to that breaking update. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you so much. Remember to stay safe. I'll be back here again for another round of some interesting broadcast. God bless.